Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early July 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Taurus collective here in early July? It's Cancer season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus in early July. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. We're going to have ourselves a good time today, my friends. We're going to have some fun, regardless of what shows up, right? That's what it's all about. Let's get this card going. Now, there we go. Cool. So this card is a bit of a double-edged sword because it could be really great, really fantastic, very empowering, but there could also be a little bit of frustration when we look at it as well. It is one of those cards of self-focus, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of that. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady here. She's in a humongous blue dress. She has a big wig on, and she is looking in a mirror. Not only is she looking in a mirror, she is in a room surrounded by mirrors. So she's like admiring herself, observing herself. Now, in the positive sense, because we're going to start with the positive, this does remind me of the Queen of Wands, where it could deal with self-confidence, how we view ourselves, how we treat ourselves, self-love, self-care, perspective, and how, yeah, exactly, how much do we pedestalize ourselves, or how well do we treat ourselves. It's great when it comes to that. This is a huge card of self-confidence, feeling good, feeling empowered. I got this. So I like it for that. It's really nice. But I always say there's a thin line between confidence and ego, right? Or egotism. And when this card shows up, especially with all those mirrors, like this could be someone that's a little too self-focused. Now, again, no judgment here. You do what you got to do. You got to do what's right for you. But if you're dealing with any individuals that are a little bit egotistical, ego-driven, me, that could be a little frustrating when this card shows up. So again, watch out for anybody that has a heightened sense of ego, because that might repel you or cause some friction in this time. But if you're feeling good, if you're feeling confident, you're treating yourself well, mind, body, and soul, beautiful, because that's actually the healthy form of this energy. But we're just going to put her down right there. She could chill out. Don't want to disturb. Might be changing something about the aesthetic or looks too. But let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Taurus. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was intriguing, and I've been seeing similar things this week for other signs, but the reading was titled A Sudden Change. Now, I always say change in life, it's inevitable, right? Things are always changing, things are always shifting. But with the reading I saw last week, it felt like a 180. It felt like very quick, very sudden. So whether it was how you feel about something, how you view something, a situation in and of itself, there could be a variety of different things that do a quick turnaround on you, which could be great, but it could also be frustrating. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. We're going to see what shows up this week, though. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my beautiful Taurus friends. Let's get it going here. 3 cards to start us off. Okay, Page of Pentacles. That's very good, very conversational, and it's one of your power cards. So we'll get him tucked in by the amethyst. He could chill out for a minute while we get him some company, right? There we go. King of Wands. Interesting. Very peoply. Very peoply for some reason, my good friends. I mean, the King of Wands is cool. Remember I said with the Oracle card that reminds me of the Queen of Wands, and now we have the King of Wands. Let's get one more here. What do we got for Taurus? Thank you. Okay. So you're going to have a bonus this week. Now, we do have the 6 of Swords, but it did pop out with another card. Lots of action, lots of energy moving, lots of energy flowing, which I think could be a really good thing, depending on your situation, of course. But we do have the Fool right here. So there's a good amount of fire in the mix. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and it gives us a good foundation to work from, how comfy or how the energy is flowing. And there's a pretty good mix, right? It is fire predominant, but we have earth, fire, air. Cool. We gotta keep an eye on these guys back here, and we will. Now, the thing I really like about the earth, that is your power element, that is your comfort zone. It's very good for a Taurus reading. Earth to me represents results. It represents stability and security. I think of routine. I think of predictability. So earth energy is day-to-day life, what you do every day or what you do every Monday at this time. So I like the structure of it. It could deal with money, work, business, finance, home, family. So earth energy has that big umbrella of any of the material world stuff. The only downside to earth is it can be very slow to adapt. It could be a bit of a stubborn energy as well. Not saying that's you, but when the energy presents, it's hard to budge. So we want to keep an eye on it. And sometimes it can even feel bored or cabin fever. Like in the center and on the back end, we have a lot of fire, and that's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions that you want to take, all of that can be in play. The fire is high vibrational frequency, in my opinion. So it's like usually tied in heavily to energy levels, whether you're feeling high or low, or maybe you're a little up and down. It could deal with health and vitality, the physical vessel. The only downside to fire is that it's hard to contain, right? It could be a little unpredictable. It could be a little explosive. So it could be looking like one thing, and then it could flip the script, similar to what we saw last week. And then we have air right here, which does feed the fire, and that's something we need to keep an eye on for sure. But air is another action-oriented suit, right? To me, it's very logical, pragmatic. It deals with the mind. It deals with perspective, how we view things, giving or receiving information. It's very planned out, and there is a structure to it as well. And air is all about the facts. Air can be about communication, talks, conversations. The only downside to the air is that sometimes it could make you overthink a little bit, like thought loops, things like that. Air can also be a little clinical and cold, and it could cut things away. So there's some things to keep an eye on. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Page of Pentacles. As I mentioned, very good card for you in my style. When we clarified, it could show something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. But the big thing with all pages, and again, it doesn't have to be you, it could represent younger individuals, but they're communicators and they're students. So when I see the Page of Pentacles, very studious. Now is a great time to learn new things, take in information, learn new skills, new hobbies, new job. It's fresh. I love the Page of Pentacles here, but this is a big messenger, a talker, specifically of the written word. So think of like letters and text messages and emails. He's always typing away, right? He's a keyboard warrior. So I like the Page of Pentacles. It can be a conversation of some kind that we want to take a look at. The only downside to the page is that it could be a little second guessy, if that makes sense, where it's like, oh, I want to do this, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I should say this, maybe I shouldn't. It's like one of those energies where it's a little in out. So we do want to keep an eye on him. It could be a little shy and bashful. Now, moving to the middle, we have an energy that is completely opposite of that. We have the King of Wands himself. Now, I always say when it comes to all kings, they represent control of their respective suit. We went into depth about the fire. So the King of Wands, it's very confident, entrepreneurial. I love it. It's like a wide open, blazing hot type of energy. And it's normally deciding where to put its energy. Should I put my energy here? Should I ignore this? Am I spread too thin? Am I hyper focusing on one thing? The King of Wands is about where we put our attention and where we put our action after it. So maybe there's certain things Spirit wants you to take stock of. You paying too much attention to one thing, or you're not paying enough attention to another? That's a big vibe with him. But the downside to this King of Wands, he could be very pushy, a little aggressive, right? It could be very unpredictable in his actions, what he does, what he says. So, like, when I see him right next to this little page, this is an energy like either one, it's like, I'm going to make this person do what I want them to do. I'm going to force them to do this. Hopefully, it's not intimidating. In the positive sense, it could be someone like amping somebody up, like, yeah, you got this. It's like a coach of some kind, which I really like. So we'll see when we clarify. On the back end, we have the Six of Swords. This is great for anything involving distance, travel. If you're taking a trip or a vacation, we love the Six of Swords for that. I always say, aside from being an action card, it represents forward movement, forward progress, things improving normally. That's the best side of this card. So choppy waters turning into calm. We like this. So we do want to see. What's this action? What's this energetic vibe that we're picking up here? But the downside of the Six of Swords, sometimes it's an energy that can flee, it could run away, it could be a little avoidant, right? Like, so that's something we need to keep an eye on as well. Because it's like these energies, they're distracted, and this energy is doing something different in the background. Now, for your bonus card, we're going to keep it very brief. We do have the Fool card. I love it. It's the protagonist of the tarot deck. Some people link it to Aries. Some people link it to Aquarius and Aries because it's like a air fire combination platter. But I love it. It's very positive and optimistic to me, where it's like, yeah, let's go. It has those page like qualities where it's fresh and it's new. The only downside to the Fool card, and again, it's happy, it's jovial, it's lighthearted, it doesn't take things too seriously. But the big downside to it, it could be very risky, right? The Fool card, it could take a risk. It could be very impulsive. So there's some things to look out for, especially on this back end. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for our friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Page of Pentacles. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Page of Pentacles. What do we got? Thank you. Very, very cautious with its words. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords underneath this Page of Pentacles. You know when like you write a text and then you erase it and you rewrite it? It's like one of those where it's like, I'm editing what I say, I'm editing this, I'm just being very careful with the words I use. Now, I'm not sure if that's you or somebody else. These two approaches combined to me is like extra, extra careful, extra, extra cautious. Now, for some Tauruses, that might be advice, where it's like whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's a work thing, a business thing, home, family, relationships, it's like just choose the words carefully. Watch how you say it, watch how you phrase it. Like there's just something here about you being taken very literally with what you say. Now, the Page of Swords has a lot of the archetypes of the Page of Pentacles: student, messenger, good, fresh, youthful energy. But this one, notice he has his guard up, right? He's like being very cautious and careful. And this is the Watcher of the tarot deck. So like when I see it under the Page of Pentacles, it's like, all right, watch what you say, where someone is being very cautious with how they choose their words and how they present information. So again, that could be advice. So we have a bit of a chatterbox going up here, right? We have some talking, communicating happening with cards of 3 different individuals showing up. So we're going to have to see. There's very cautious energy here. This could also be a talk, conversation of importance too, like an important talk or situation of some sort. We're going to keep going, but this energy is being very, very careful with what it says and how it says it. Let's go in on the King. Let's see what that has. Maybe the King's going to spice it up here. Yeah, it's been the back end that's been making me like, what do you guys got going on? Okay, this energy is the total opposite of that. Like this energy lets loose. So we have the Hierophant in reverse underneath this King of Wands. Wow. And especially in a Taurus reading, like the Hierophant, that's one of your power cards. And remember, the reason I'm chuckling is because usually the Hierophant is solid and it's stable and it's predictable and it's traditional. What you see is what you get. When he flips in reverse, that is very similar to like a tower. So it's like this energy is being very cautious with what it says and how it chooses its words. This one is like, no, screw that. I'm just going to say it. I think it, I say it. There's like no filter here. And it does come off a little bit aggressive. Again, no judgment here. But with the Hierophant in reverse underneath this King of Wands, sometimes where it's like, what came over me? Like, what got into me? Like, why'd I say that? Like, it's one of those. So could this be like an explosive message or talk? Absolutely. But it's like one of those things where this energy is being super cautious and careful in the front with how it says things. And then the King of Wands and Hierophant in reverse is like, screw that. I'm not going to audit myself. I'm just going to say what I feel, say what I say. But then I do have this energy in retrospect, like, why did I say that? Like, why did I say that thing? So in this time, just be cautious with those urges, especially when it comes to talking with other people, because it's like, I wish I didn't say it like that. There's something here about being cautious with how you put things or how you verbalize them. Or again, this doesn't have to be you. This could be somebody else. They might say something they regret. because it's a very explosive energy here around messages or talks. And again, when I use explosive, that could just be something that pops up out of the blue too, right? Explosive is just like fast, fiery, intense. So it's like cautious, careful, and then boom, all that planning goes out the window. Let's go in on the Six of Swords, then we'll do a quick recap. I don't know why it's making me chuckle there, but let's see what the Six of Swords has. Then we'll do the recap, please. So what do we got? Why is the Six of Swords here? Okay. Okay. And this energy is like, I wish I could walk it back. All right, so we have the Knight of Swords in reverse underneath this Six of Swords, where it's like, all right, now I'm doing damage control. It's like one of those. Yeah, because the Knight of Swords, again, that's a very forward movement, forward action, go, 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 like very aggressive. So when I see him in reverse underneath the Six of Swords, it's like, but I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's like either an energy that's trying to walk something back or is trying to make something better or fix it. So I will say this: just watch around the communication. There is a warning around that for sure, because it's like, all right, well, once you say something, you can't unsay it. Once you take an action, you can't undo the action, right? Like, I mean, there's this really unique dynamic here. So again, we're not just saying it's just with communication alone. It could even be the actions that something or that someone takes. The Knight of Swords in reverse tries to slow something down, right? In the upright, again, he's fast. Go, go, go. Big air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Fastest of all the knights and very pushy. So, yeah, in reverse, underneath the Six of Swords, it's like, it's either walking something back, wanting to fix something, or just giving something or someone a little bit of time, right? Like with the Knight of Swords in reverse underneath the Six of Swords, it's like, all right, I'm going to let this work itself out. I'm gonna let that energy do what it's gonna do. And that's been a theme I've been picking up in a lot of the signs this week, where it's like, hey, you just need to let that energy do what it's gonna do. You need to let that energy work itself out for whatever reason. So really unique, heavily surrounding communication and action, that's for sure. Let's go through and do a quick recap. So yeah, four of the main six cards are people. We got your card in the reverse. What got into me? It's a little bit of a wild one, my friends, but if you kindly look in the box position number one, we have the Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords in the upright, someone being very careful with what they say, or this could be advice from spirit. It's like, hey, you will be taken literally, or just be cautious with the words that you use, because this energy here is like being very, very calculated with how it puts something. When we get to the center, hopefully those plans don't go out the window. We have the King of Wands with the Hierophant in reverse, like, screw it, I'm just going to say what I want. Very explosive message or talk, so whether it's one that comes in quick or just one that intensifies, this is no filter at all. And it was giving me that vibe of like, why did I say that? Or why did I say it like that? So there is that little tinge of regret. Moving to the back end, Six of Swords, Knight of Swords in reverse underneath it. Either it's an energy that wants to walk it back or fix it or make it better, but there is also this vibe of just giving something a little space to work itself out, or just let the energy do what it's going to do. Sometimes, especially after a lot of energetic pressure, it's good to just let the energy settle for a while. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got? What do we got? Thank you. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Now, in the good sense, I always say the Nine of Pentacles is like blessings and abundance, and it's solid, it's stable, it's sturdy, it's dependable in its good sense. But if you look at this version of the card, we have this bird in a bird cage, which can feel a little bit trapped. So in this time, watch out for, it could be small, minor things like a little bit of cabin fever. Feeling like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. What can I really do about this? There might be certain situations where it's like, what can I do? There's nothing I could really do when I see this Nine of Pentacles, and it can be frustrating. So especially with what we saw in the main part of the reading, watch out for that, because sometimes that energy could cause a little bit of a lash out. Now, again, there's great stuff here around money, work, business. I really like the Nine of Pentacles, but it does also represent a bit of frustration mounting. So just watch out for keeping things bottled up for too long because that energy could flow out. We're just going to leave it at that, Taurus. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The July calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the July subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, I will choose 3 lucky winners to either choose a copy of the Gilded Tarot Royale, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a must-have, or a handmade pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in today's reading, which one spoke to you the most, or jumped out to you the most, or resonated with you. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.